I like the fact that this South African brother works in the mortuary and is very proud of his job. I like it. It's something that I tell people that there's dignity in labor. I like his job that he's doing. He's proud of it. He loves his job. He shows it. He uses it to create content. But then I know that there are some hospitals that will say, no, 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 this is not professional enough. He shouldn't have done this. But what if it's not a hospital mortuary? Because some people have private mortuaries and they use it to their advantage. You understand? Like they can use it to do content, they can use it to do all of these things. And somebody came in, a content creator came in to see the mortuary, and he took the content creator into the place to see the place. And the good thing people were saying at the comment section was the fact that he was knocking before opening any of those drawers. So you can see, before he does anything, he will knock. Before he does anything, he will knock. Before he does anything, he will knock and wait. It's not like the people will say, oh, come in or anything. He will knock and wait before he opens. So he's showing all of this, treating and maintaining it. So he's happy with his job. But we have other things we need to talk about what South Africans are doing on social media. Let us take a look at this. Then we'll come back at the end to talk more on
African, let's not deny this. South African is way more beautiful than all African countries and more advanced than all African countries. I'm not capping, it's fact. They have advanced total build, advanced road, advanced school, advanced hospital. South African is the most developed in Africa. Everything about them developed rapidly. Despite a lot of African countries got their independence before them. But till date, what has not developed in South Africa? There is way more back than other African countries. There is something in South Africa that still look like 1950. Those things never advanced. Even in 2024, they still look old. No development, no advancement. Till date, I'm still shocked that despite the development of South Africa, this same thing that I want to mention never developed. And it's black South Africans.
Do you know that South African prison is actually better than Nigeria? South African Correctional Service prison is more clean than Lagos and Abuja. Yeah, child, I'm telling you the truth. That is why when South African people go to prison, they come out more healthy and more fresh. I don't know why they don't like going to prison. Danko.
And to perform the functions of my office conscientiously, that's okay, and the best of my ability. Conscientiously, actually.
We'll get it right. We'll get it right. We'll get it right. Conscientiously.
Conscientiously.
Yes.
Conscientiously.
Yes. Okay.
This is what pushes xenophobia in Africa, South Africa.
They do, but a lot of the xenophobia, and it's not justifiable, but a lot of the xenophobia is economically related because what happens is you live in South Africa.
Right.
He lives in Namibia, hypothetically.
Right. It's the classes you mean?
No, stay with me.
Yeah.
So you are boycotting your job because y'all want higher pay. So they come to Namibia and tell you, get me 100 Namibians, come to South Africa, we need y'all to break this protest. You hungry, you got kids to feed, so guess what you do? You come across national lines and you break the South African protest. Now you just gave birth to that xenophobia. Why would you bring your black ass to my country and sabotage my fight for better pay? You see that? Okay. So a lot of the xenophobia in Africa is economically related. It's the white man, again, putting black people against black people. It's the same thing they do over here.
I just want to bring the children of Africa home because we understand the diaspora are Africa's true gold. Think of the brains that are in the diaspora. Think of the monies in the diaspora. If we can just repatriate those brains, repatriate those monies in an organized way, we don't need anybody. We are actually the only continent on earth that doesn't need the world. The world is Africa.
Before we talk about what this woman said at the end of this video, let us start from the beginning. You saw that South African mortuary attendant who is proud of what he does. Now, he's a South African. He played the South African music at the background as he was doing all of those cleaning. This goes to show that all this carrying body, all this show body people are doing, at the end of the day, everybody will pass through that route, except for those who say, oh, they don't want to be in the mortuary. They want to just lay them once they have passed on. Now it shows, it humbles one to see people do those jobs. And people were on the comment section say that even in death, the guy is still knocking. There's dignity in labor. He enjoys doing his job, and nobody can take that away from him. He knocks to, before he cleans the bodies, he knocks to bring them out and clean. But he does all his job. He cleans the environment. Somebody came in to see the place. He allowed the person, say it's a humbling experience and all of those things. Now, moving on to the next person. The next video we saw was the video of a South Africa, the Nigerian saying that South Africa is their prison is the most beautiful, in the whole world. That is why it's better than Abuja and Lagos. It was sarcasm. The guy was being sarcastic because somebody came under his comment section to say that South African prison is better than everywhere other prison and all that. So he now said, no, don't say that. Just say that South African prison is better than Lagos and Abuja. In fact, that's why when they come out, they look good. Didn't you hear the ending? He said he doesn't know why they don't like going to prison. Now, the other guy also mentioned that the xenophobia happening in South Africa is as a result of is an economic kind of xenophobia. Like he would say, maybe let's say it's something like you say is politically motivated, where the people who are in South Africa are crying that, oh, the living wage is too low or the minimum wage is low, and make it up to 300 rand. And then they go to another country and go to bring another African country and bring people and say, don't worry, we'll pay you 250 rand and you can do the job. And that's when the South Africans will begin to become xenophobic about these people, that it is still the white versus the black. Then the other guy also, we saw the video of the man, the guy who said, oh, Joburg is better than Nigeria, on a comment section of in Nigeria. And the Nigerian now said it's true, that in fact, South Africa is better in roads, it's better in infrastructure, that is everything is better, but that they should also look at what South Africans are the worst in. South Africans are the worst in all of it. And he showed that the black South Africans are the ones that have not improved since he knew South Africa. That yes, so they can be saying that South Africa is the best. It was a sarcastic video. Sarcasm filled that video. He showed how that dirty settlement is. That's how the black South African live year in, year out. They have been like that before apartheid. They have been like that after apartheid. So even the whites have said one day, they said if they had moved out of South Africa immediately, South Africa would have been worse than where you see all those areas where those people live, where they have those bacha, all those buildings where they live in. They would have been worse than that. Now, going back to the woman who was, before the governor, the president, that they've given her appointment. I don't know what that kind of appointment she was given. To read her acceptance speech, she needed to look for very bogus English terms to pronounce or to even read. See the way she went to, what you'd have just said, govern well. But what is bringing all those big grammar? Then back to this our woman, this woman who is always speaking about Africans. She said, the African people living abroad are Africans' true gold. If we can bring them back to Africa, we don't need anybody else in this African continent. As she mentioned in her video, that Africa is the only continent that do not need the world. They are sufficient. I keep saying it. This woman is a Pan-Africanist. She's the one that exposed how France have put out Europe. How France, let me put it there. She said in one of her videos, have put Africa, the African countries are under France. They've put them where they are. How they will live, they will make money in Africa, send it to France. France will now, put it in their bank and now send it to Africa as loan, and still collect interest from the monies that were sent. So she has exposed a lot of things about why Africa there is poor. France will stay there and say Africa is poor. They are helping Africa. Are you helping Africa? When it is the African money you are using to do whatever you are doing. So if we stop all this back and forth in our continent and stop all those, we want to be this, we want to be that, we want to do this, we want to do that. If you can stop all that, then you would know that we as Africans can come together and build our continent better and break off from all this manipulation from the West. Because at the end of the day, they can never allow us to have what they have. But we can decide to have double of what they have if we become self-sufficient and look inward instead of looking for other things that do not benefit us, honestly.